At 3 a.m., Adam heard knocking on his bedroom door. He lives alone. At first, he assumed it was his neighbor, Mr. Williams, who liked to have late-night conversations about fishing. But Mr. Williams had been out of town visiting his grandchildren for the past week. Adam lay in bed, listening to the knocking. It came again, louder this time. He could hear his own heart beating in his ears, each knock echoing in the silence of the night. What if it was an intruder, he thought, pulling the covers up to his chin. The knocking stopped. Then he heard shuffling sounds near his door. Footsteps. Someone was definitely out there. He grabbed his phone and dialed 911. The operator asked him to stay on the line while help was on the way, but Adam couldn't wait. He needed to see for himself what was going on. He got out of bed and crept towards the door. His hand trembled as he reached out to open it. There was no one there. Standing in the dimly lit hallway, Adam scanned his eyes over the wall, over the door, but saw nothing. Then he noticed something strange. On the floor there were muddy barefoot prints that led straight into his room. He bent down and touched one of the footprints with his finger. It was wet and cold. And then he smelled it. A stench of stale dirt and decaying leaves filled his nostrils. Adam's gaze followed the trail of footprints back to the door. He stared at it, his mind racing. How could someone have entered his house and left footprints in the mud without him seeing them? He thought about the sound of the door knocking, the shuffling outside his room. Was he imagining things? Then he heard a knock again. Adam screamed and fell backwards, hitting his head on the corner of his dresser. The print in his hand vanished. Disoriented, he looked around the room. There was no one there. The door was closed, the deadbolt still in place. Shaken and confused, Adam called out, "Hello? Is anyone there?" His voice echoed in the silent room. Then he heard a soft whisper behind him. "Let me tell you a story about a man who lived alone and heard knocking at his door in the middle of the night." Startled, Adam whirled around to face the voice. But when he turned, he saw only the empty closet. "Who's there?" he whispered, his voice trembling. But there was no reply. As the sun began to rise, casting pale light through his window, Adam sat on the edge of his bed, still clutching his phone. The footprints in the hallway were gone, and the muddy water had dried into dust on his bedroom floor. Had it all been a dream? He looked at the closed door. Maybe it was just the wind, he told himself. But deep down, he knew the knocking would start again tonight. If this story gave you chills, hit like, subscribe, and share for more midnight horrors.